Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Good afternoon, South Africa. So I welcome everyone to this first video recording or episode, whatever you want to call it, of nationalization and the South African Reserve Bank. My name is Toko Masemola, and I'll be your host and your presenter of this whole series that we're going to do. I'm very excited about this series. It's going to be exciting because we're going to talk about a lot of various different aspects about nationalization, about the work of the South African Reserve Bank, and I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to everything that we're going to cover in this series. So this first recording or this first episode is basically an overview into into this conversation about nationalization and the SARB. So this episode is an overview, and then I'm gonna be telling you just different things that I'm going to cover in this whole series. I'm gonna just give a summary in this episode, and then from the next episode or from the next recording, we're going to get into all of those different details, and different with regards to the relationship of the South African Reserve Bank and the concept of nationalization. So and a lot of people have been asking me, I want to talk about nationalization and the South African Reserve Bank. Want to hear your views, Tuko? Well, and so a lot of people have been telling me that, and yeah, actually, I was supposed to start this series at the end of March, but I had to postpone it a bit, and then right now I feel it's the perfect time to start right now. So, and I'm very happy, to start the series because I feel in our society there are a lot of different, there are a lot of different things that we need to know with regards to the work of the South African Reserve Bank, and how would our understanding be of the work of the South African Reserve Bank with regards to nationalization, and in this series, I'm using the approach, from a financial and economic point of view, and it's not really about the political rhetoric. You'll see that I'm not going to use the political rhetoric. I'm going to approach it from an economic and financial point of view. We're going to talk details. We're going to be technical, because it's high time that this conversation becomes more technical, becomes more detailed, becomes more specific, and because I feel that that's what people will want to know. That people want to know that people want to know the details. People want to know the specifics. How will nationalization and the South African Reserve Bank? How will all of this work if it happens? So because we've been telling people all of this populist rhetoric, and then when it comes to how this thing will actually work, you find out, a lot of people get found wanting as a result. And I'm sure it's one of the accusations that people have with regards to our politicians. When it comes to the specifics, the details, they get caught out. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Let me share my screen so that we can start. So this is the document which I've prepared, my notes for this first episode. It's 34 pages, as you can see, because basically it's an overview of everything that we're going to cover in this series. And after each and every episode or recording, I'm gonna make the notes available for that particular episode, and so that you can read it and go through it and do your own research. And I encourage you to verify everything that I'm going to share, everything that I'm gonna say. Verify it. Don't just take my word for it. I want people to do their own research. I want people to find out for themselves, about all these different topics that we always cover. So first of all, what is nationalization? We need to break down the concept, which is at the center, nationalization. Yeah, let us break it down briefly before we get into how will it work with regards to the South African Reserve Bank, and all. So yeah, before, let me just maybe add something. You can see I'm wearing all yellow. Yes, yellow is part of the colors of the African National Congress. You see I'm wearing all yellow. Don't I look very cute and handsome in this yellow? I do, right? Yep. So, okay, what is nationalization? Nationalization is the process of transforming okay, privately owned assets into public assets by bringing them under the public ownership of a national government or state. Okay, that is one description. There are various descriptions of nationalization, but there is a common theme of state ownership and public ownership. When previously nationalized assets are privatized and subsequently returned to public ownership at a later stage, they are said to have undergone renationalization. Here's another term for you: renationalization. Which is all about when previously national assets are privatized and then subsequently returned to public ownership again at a later stage. That's what they call renationalization. Industries often subject to nationalization include the commanding heights of the economy, telecommunications, electric power, fossil fuels, railways, airlines, iron ore, media, postal services, banks, and water. Though in many jurisdictions, many such entities have no history of private ownership. Nationalization may occur with or without compensation to the former owners. Nationalization is distinguished from property redistribution in that the government retains control of nationalized properties. Some nationalizations take place when a government seizes property acquired illegally. So when property was acquired illegally by a private investor, and then if that property is acquired illegally, then the government can seize those properties. When companies that were once part of the private sector are transformed to a public good, it is often contentious and matters of opposition. The income that once belonged to shareholders now belongs to the government. In most cases, ownership extends to managerial and directorial control as well. The key outcome of nationalization is the redirection of revenues to the country's government instead of private operators who may export funds with no benefit to the host country.